What is up, everyone? So in today's video, we are going to talk about what is the number one thing you can do to improve your guitar playing as fast as possible at any level. Any level. Do I sound like Saul Goodman? Do I sound like a Slippin' Jimmy? Well, I'm not bullcrapping you. Or the other word I wanted to say. But I do have a way, though. So we're going to go over this, and we're going to start with it by a story of how I started playing guitar. So when I started playing guitar, I started on Guitar Hero. So as a lot of people my age did, they played Guitar Hero. I used to practice like a real instrument. I loved the hell out of playing it. And one day I decided that I wanted to play real guitar, and my dad was very hesitant to get me a guitar for my birthday because I was only 14 at the time, didn't have a job or anything, and thought I'd put it down a month after picking it up. But little did he know that, or would he know, that I would be obsessed with it and start playing it 8 hours a day and start torturing the whole family with my crappy guitar playing in the beginning. And which carried on for a while until I started getting halfway decent. So, but what did I do to get halfway decent into now more decent and better at guitar playing-ish things? Jokes aside, the big thing that I'm going to drop here is learning people's music. It sounds so stupidly obvious, but it is the number one thing that will boost your guitar playing in so many different ways. So what does this look like when you are first starting guitar? What are you going to learn when you first start out? Because you could barely play the guitar. What I did, I literally tried learning Raining Blood as my first song by Slayer, which is hilarious. Because I love playing that song on Guitar Hero, and I was like, well, I want to play that song. So what I did is go on ultimateguitar.com and looked up the tabs and started practicing, and literally practiced for like 5 months until I could actually play it, 60% decent. And at that time, being only 5 months into guitar and being able to do that was, pretty impressive to me and my family at the time, especially at a time where there wasn't a large category of guitar lessons like there are today on YouTube and things like that. There wasn't as many resources. We had like Killer Buckeye doing covers, and was it a musician one? I don't remember his username, but some number afterwards. If you're from that area, you know what I'm talking about. We had people like that playing covers and stuff, but there wasn't like real big catalog of lessons. You had, the great guitar DVDs by all the greats and things like that taught you licks, but I wasn't even exposed to that level of guitar playing at that time. It was just what YouTube was regurgitating at me that wasn't very hard to see because that was like the popular guitar thing at the time. So learning people's music is the fastest way to get better as a guitar player at any level. And the reason this is so from a beginner standpoint, it's going to start teaching you the techniques that you need to know to get better. Now, it is smart to have some guidance on general technique and fundamentals, because me as a guitar player, when I first started out, I started doing some really dumb things just in order to play. So like I used to mute with the meat of my thumb like this. Not with this part of my hand. So look up your fundamentals all together if you're just starting out. Learn how to actually mute the guitar, play the guitar, strum the guitar, do things like that. Then start learning the songs. You don't want to learn a bunch of bad habits and then have to grow out of them like I did, because that's such a backwards process. Now, for more advanced guitar players, why are learning songs useful? So I feel like when guitar players get to a certain point, we don't really care to learn as much music. We want to just be writing all the time and writing our own music, making our own music. You know, some people just play covers, and that's totally fine. But you do need a balance of writing your own music and learning some of other people's material. Now, the way learning other people's material helps you is it will teach you different things that you don't normally do. Because when we don't learn songs, we just get into the root or the rut of our own playing, and a lot of times, if we don't have exterior drivers, we won't move outside of that rut that we create for ourselves of our own style. So I do think it's very useful to learn other people's music. For my band that I was in, we learned tons of covers. I think we had 3 hours of music of covers that I ended up learning. And while the songs weren't technically insane or anything like that, some of them, were. They did teach me a bunch of different riff ideas and different ways to approach different rhythm lines and lead lines that I wouldn't normally think of if I didn't learn those songs. So that is really the nugget out of the golden nugget of knowledge that you learn from learning other people's music. Now, if you want to improve from a technical aspect, you need to learn songs that are beyond your level of technical ability. And that was one of the forefronts of how I was improving at a pretty fast rate when I first started. I think I started learning sweep picking at about 7 months, and that was just because I was learning the song Scream Fire by Bullet for My Valentine that had a solo sweeping section that was just a 3-string shape that I ended up learning, and then that was pretty much my introduction to sweep picking. So if you're at, like I was saying, at any level, I suggest you trying to learn songs that are beyond either your knowledge of music, like theory-wise or style-wise, or literal technical side of guitar playing that will improve your technical proficiency. And it's going to show you things that you weren't ever looking at the guitar at in that way. Like, people use different shapes. People have different tendencies. Everyone has like their own approach of how they approach playing the guitar. And learning different songs is kind of like a gateway into other people's minds of how they approach guitar playing and rhythm writing or lead writing or any of those things. So that's why I want to make this video on how to improve your guitar playing at any level. Even though it's extremely obvious, I think it's something worth talking about because it's a really powerful tool that I feel like a lot of people underutilize, especially us people who have been playing a little bit longer. I'm at 15 years of guitar playing, or 16 years of guitar playing now, and I feel my own tendency of not wanting to learn other people's songs grow a little stronger every time because I'm more into writing my own music. But I don't think it's a bad idea from time to time, if you're looking to improve your technical library or your creative library, to learn other people's music so that you can gain different perspectives on how to either write or just literally push yourself technically to the next level. So I hope this video helped. I know it's kind of a simple subject and simple way to approach it, and a little too obvious, I feel like, but I think people forget some of the fundamental things of how they improved and ways to get better. And if you feel like you're in a rut, I think this video is for you. And get out there and start looking at some other people's music and get a little inspired on how they write music or play lead guitar or rhythm guitar. It's I think it'll be a way to inspire you. And do this among different styles as well. Don't stick in one metal genre. Try a bunch of different things. Get inspired by rock, blues, reggae, pop, jazz, whatever, other styles that you like listening to. And I think the bottom line is make it fun. Make it something that you enjoy doing. Don't just like learn things that you don't, care about listening to. Not that there's no value in listening to things that you aren't interested in, which there definitely is. But I think it's very important to make guitar fun. And if you're learning the music that interests you and gets stuck in your head, I think you'll have a better time, easier time getting better. And always make sure you're consistent as well. If you only play guitar once a month, you're going to get progress of once a month. And that's with anything in life. So I hope this video inspired you to want to do something maybe a little different that you weren't doing. But if you have any video requests on things to talk about, shoot in the comments, and I will see you in the next one.